Did you know that women over 60 often don't realize when they are having a heart attack? It's not because they don't care about their health, but because the warning signs are often very different from what we see in movies or read in books. We tend to imagine a heart attack as a dramatic scene, a man clutching his chest, collapsing to the ground in severe pain. But in reality, for women, the heart often chooses to whisper instead of scream. It sends out vague, easily mistaken signals: unexplained fatigue, a few short breaths while climbing stairs, nausea that seems like a stomach issue, or simply a restless night of poor sleep. These signs are so subtle that most women brush them off, believing it's just part of getting older. Let me tell you about Mary, 72. She was a typical American woman, gentle, family-loving, a retired librarian. Her life revolved around morning walks, crossword puzzles to keep her mind sharp, and warm Sunday breakfasts with her grandchildren. One afternoon she felt unusually tired, a little nauseous, and broke into a light cold sweat. Her daughter urged her to see a doctor, but Mary smiled and reassured her it's probably just indigestion. She went to bed early and never woke up again. The cause? A silent heart attack. Just a few days later, in a nearby hospital, Linda, 68, was admitted because she felt something wasn't right. There was no crushing chest pain, no severe shortness of breath, just a dull ache spreading to her jaw and back that made her uneasy. Doctors quickly discovered she was in the middle of a heart attack. Linda survived because she trusted that inner voice telling her something was wrong and sought help in time. The difference between Mary and Linda was this: one dismissed the signs, the other paid attention, and that made the difference between death and life. The truth is, over 300,000 American women die from heart disease every year. That's one woman every 80 seconds. What's even more heartbreaking is that most of them never realized their heart was crying out for help. And that is why I made this video. I want to show you the 10 early signs of a heart attack in women over 60. These signs may seem small, but they could be the heart's final whisper before it stops beating. Please stay with me until the end, because sometimes what saves your life isn't medicine or doctors, but simply the awareness to notice a sign that seems small, but isn't small at all. Let's begin with the first sign of unusual fatigue. Have you ever felt completely drained even when you haven't done anything strenuous? Not the kind of tiredness you feel after a day of cleaning or running errands, but a deep exhaustion that lingers from the moment you wake up. For many women over 60, this is often blamed on age or poor sleep, but in reality, it may be a quiet warning from the heart. Unlike men, women rarely experience sudden, crushing chest pain at the start. Instead, their hearts often signal distress through subtle changes. Feeling heavy just folding laundry, short of breath walking to the mailbox, or even weary just standing in the kitchen. One heart center in the Western U.S. reported many female patients who came in with persistent fatigue. At first, they thought it was simply the weather or lack of rest, but tests revealed something far more serious: early-stage heart failure or evidence of a recent mild heart attack they didn't even know had happened. The danger lies in its silence. Fatigue doesn't knock loudly at your door. It creeps in day by day. You easily tell yourself, maybe I just need a little more rest. But even after a full night's sleep, no heavy work, and proper meals, your energy still plummets. That's when you need to pay attention. Here's another clue. Fatigue linked to the heart often comes with mild shortness of breath, a racing heartbeat, or chest heaviness during simple tasks. Some women say they no longer have the stamina to walk with friends, lost interest in activities they once loved, or even canceled plans because their body just couldn't keep up. If you find yourself dealing with unexplained, ongoing fatigue, don't brush it aside. A few simple heart tests can uncover problems before it's too late. Remember this, ordinary tiredness fades after rest, but heart-related fatigue doesn't go away with sleep. It's not just age, it could be your heart's urgent whisper for help. And if unusual fatigue is the first signal that slows you down, another sign that often follows is shortness of breath during ordinary activities. Think about it. Have you ever had to stop and catch your breath after only a short walk, climbing just a few steps, or even while getting dressed? Many people dismiss this, believing it's just because they don't exercise enough, or because their body isn't as strong as it used to be. But the truth is, feeling breathless during small, everyday tasks may be one of the heart's earliest warning signs. Heart-related shortness of breath is not the same as feeling tired after vigorous exercise. It can appear even during simple daily routines, mopping the floor, carrying dishes, or standing at the stove cooking. Some women describe it as feeling like there's not enough air, needing to take deep breaths repeatedly, but still feeling suffocated. What makes this symptom so dangerous is how easily it's misunderstood for something else. People often blame it on age, hot weather, or think they just need more exercise. But shortness of breath from the heart usually comes with other signs: an unusually fast heartbeat, chest heaviness, or a deep sense of fatigue that doesn't match the effort.
Take the story of Helen, 65, from Texas. She had always been active, tending to her garden. But recently, after just a few minutes of watering plants, she found herself breathless and had to sit down. She told herself it was simply losing stamina after turning 60. Until one morning, while walking with her friends, she became so breathless she couldn't finish a sentence. Her friends urged her to see a doctor, and tests revealed she was in the early stages of ischemic heart disease. Ignoring the symptoms any longer could have led to a full-blown heart attack. The difference between normal breathlessness and heart-related breathlessness is this: it doesn't go away quickly with rest, and it's often paired with unusual fatigue, a racing heart, or a feeling of pressure in the chest. It's the heart's way of sending an SOS, though many mistake it as just another sign of aging. So if you notice yourself becoming short of breath, even with light activity, don't brush it off. A heart checkup could uncover problems early and prevent something far more serious. Picture this. After a light meal, you feel some discomfort in your upper stomach, a strange wave of nausea, or even a burning sensation like acid reflux. Most of us would immediately think, it must be my stomach. Maybe the food didn't sit well, or just a bit of acid. But in reality, these so-called digestive symptoms can sometimes be a silent warning from the heart. This is especially dangerous because women rarely associate heart problems with the digestive system. Yet research shows that when the heart is deprived of blood, or when arteries are blocked, nerve signals can trigger stomach discomfort, nausea, or even vomiting. That's why so many women believe they have food poisoning or indigestion, while in truth, they may be missing the golden window to treat a heart attack. The key difference is this: ordinary indigestion usually fades within a few hours or with medication, but heart-related discomfort lingers, has no clear cause, and may come with other symptoms like dizziness, cold sweats, or unusual fatigue. If these feelings keep returning, especially if you also have risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, consider it a red alert. Don't self-diagnose and say, it's probably just my stomach. Only a medical checkup can reveal whether it's truly a digestive issue or your heart crying out for help. In situations like this, delay can cost far more than discomfort, can cost your life. The fourth sign that often confuses women even more is pain showing up in unexpected places, like the shoulders, back, neck, or jaw. When we think of a heart attack, most people picture severe chest pain. But for many women over 60, the heart doesn't speak through the chest at all. Instead, it sends signals through other areas. The pain may appear in the left shoulder, the upper back, the neck, or even the jaw. Sometimes it's just a dull ache like a strained muscle or arthritis that lingers for days. And that's why so many women brush it off as nothing more than normal aging. I think of Evelyn, 64, from New York, who went through exactly this. One morning, while brushing her hair, she felt tightness in her neck and left shoulder.
At first, she assumed it was just a stiff muscle or routine joint pain. But within days, the pain spread to her upper back and jaw. She still didn't pay much attention until the discomfort grew worse at night and kept her from sleeping. At the hospital, doctors discovered she was experiencing ischemia and reduced blood flow to the heart. Thankfully, because it was caught in time, she was treated successfully. It's important to remember that heart-related pain often feels different from muscle or joint pain. It tends to be dull, persistent, or recurring. It can appear even while resting, not only after activity. And most importantly, it doesn't go away with massage or changing positions. This is exactly why so many women mistake it for common back or neck pain, when in reality it may be an early warning of a heart attack. So if you or someone you love experiences unexplained pain in the shoulders, back, neck, or jaw, especially if it's paired with fatigue, shortness of breath, or nausea, please don't ignore it. That is the time to see a doctor immediately. The next sign is one that's often overlooked because it feels so ordinary. Sudden cold sweats, even when you haven't been active and the weather isn't hot. Normally, sweating is just your body's natural response to heat or physical activity. But if you suddenly find yourself drenched in cold sweat, your back soaked for no clear reason, it may be your heart sending an urgent warning. Heart-related cold sweats often come with chills, pale skin, fatigue, or nausea. This is a red flag that your circulation may be in trouble, that your heart isn't pumping enough blood, and your body is reacting by producing sweat in an attempt to stabilize itself. What makes this symptom so dangerous is how easily it's mistaken for something else: stress, just feeling overheated, or even a side effect of medication. But if cold sweats appear together with other symptoms like shortness of breath, back pain, nausea, or dizziness, it is no longer something to ignore. Remember this: sweating from heat or exercise is easy to explain, but cold sweats that strike suddenly, without reason, are a signal you should never take lightly. Stop what you're doing, sit down to rest, and call for emergency help. Because sometimes just a few minutes of delay can mean the difference between life and an irreplaceable loss.
Sign 6. Unusual anxiety or restlessness. We've all felt nervous before an important event or had a sleepless night because of worry. But when anxiety appears for no reason, keeps returning, and comes with physical changes in your body, it may not be just in your head. It may be your heart sending a signal. Studies show that nearly 44% of women who experienced a heart attack reported feeling unusual anxiety or restlessness in the hours or days beforehand. What's striking is that many of them had no history of anxiety disorders. They simply described a sense that something wasn't right, or a vague, bad feeling they couldn't explain. Why does this happen? When the heart doesn't get enough blood, the central nervous system reacts, putting the brain into a state of alert. The result? Your heart may race, you may struggle to sleep, and your mind feels unsettled, almost as if your body is bracing itself for danger. The key thing to remember is this: heart-related anxiety usually shows up alongside other symptoms: fatigue, shortness of breath, cold sweats, or pain in the back or neck. So if you find yourself suddenly anxious, restless, or fearful without clear cause, and especially if these feelings come in waves or feel stronger than usual, don't dismiss it as just stress or just age. Trust your instincts. If your body whispers that something is wrong, it may well be your heart speaking. And in this case, listening and getting checked could save your life. Sign 7.
dizziness or lightheadedness. Standing up from a chair and suddenly feeling the room spin, taking just a few steps and losing your balance, or even worse, blacking out for a moment. These are experiences many people over 60 dismiss as normal. They often blame low blood sugar, lack of sleep, or low blood pressure. But the truth is, dizziness and lightheadedness can sometimes be early warning signs of a heart attack.
Here's why. When the heart isn't pumping enough blood, the brain doesn't get enough oxygen. And even a few seconds of reduced oxygen can make you feel faint, disoriented, or close to passing out. That's why so many women are hospitalized for dizziness, only to learn that the real issue was their heart. Take Janet, 71, from Illinois. She was preparing dinner when suddenly her vision blurred, her head spun, and she had to grab the counter to keep from falling. Her daughter rushed her to the hospital, where tests revealed ischemia, reduced blood flow to the heart. It was a dangerous condition that could have triggered a heart attack at any moment. If Janet hadn't sought help that day, she might have collapsed right there in her kitchen. What makes this symptom so easy to ignore is that it looks like many other common problems. But here's the difference. Heart-related dizziness often comes with other signs, like fatigue, shortness of breath, a racing heartbeat, or cold sweats. Remember, a brief dizzy spell may not be serious, but dizziness that repeats, has no clear cause, or happens even while sitting or standing still should never be taken lightly. It may be your heart struggling to deliver blood to the brain. If this happens to you, sit down immediately to prevent falling and contact your doctor as soon as possible. Sometimes just a few minutes of listening to your body can protect you from a serious crisis.
Sign 8. Chest discomfort, but not the typical heart attack pain. Most people believe that a heart attack always announces itself with severe, crushing chest pain, sharp, stabbing, and impossible to ignore. But for many women over 60, the reality is often very different. Instead of exploding, the heart often sends much subtler signals that are easy to overlook. This discomfort may feel like heaviness, mild pressure, or a faint burning in the center of the chest. Sometimes it's as if something is pressing down on your chest, or a dull, unexplained weight you can't quite describe. It isn't stabbing, it doesn't make you collapse instantly, it's simply a nagging sense that something isn't right. And because it isn't dramatic, it's easy to dismiss as heartburn, spicy food, or simple fatigue. The danger is that this discomfort often lingers or returns rather than fading quickly with rest or antacids. In many cases, it can even spread to the shoulders, upper back, neck, or jaw, leading women to believe it's muscle pain, arthritis, or a strained joint. This kind of confusion has caused thousands of women to miss the golden window for timely treatment before a full-blown heart attack. Another important point. Heart-related chest discomfort often appears during light activity or even while resting, and may come with other symptoms such as shortness of breath, cold sweats, unusual fatigue, or dizziness. When these signs occur together, it's far more likely to be the heart, not just digestion crying out for help. So don't wait for the dramatic movie version of a heart attack to take action. For women, even a vague pressure in the chest, no matter how mild, can be the first and only sign of a silent heart attack. Trust your body. If you ever feel an unusual sensation in your chest, especially with fatigue or breathlessness, treat it as a red flag and get checked immediately.
Sign 9. Persistent insomnia. Insomnia is a common problem after age 60. Many people assume it's simply due to stress, aging, or daily habits. But research shows that persistent insomnia may also be an early warning sign of heart disease. Here's why. When the heart isn't working efficiently, whether because arteries are narrowed or blood pressure is too high, the body activates the sympathetic nervous system, the body's built-in emergency alarm. The result is a faster heartbeat, a restless mind, and difficulty falling asleep, even when you're exhausted. Some women describe lying in bed for hours, unable to drift off, their minds unsettled, their bodies overheated, their hearts pounding as if bracing for something bad to happen. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that middle-aged and older women who frequently struggle with insomnia have a 38% higher risk of heart disease compared to those who sleep well. This shows that insomnia is not always just about aging. It can be the heart's quiet warning. Here's how to tell the difference. Insomnia caused by lifestyle habits, like drinking coffee late or using your phone before bed, often improves when you make changes. But if sleeplessness persists for weeks or even months, despite rest and adjustments, it's a red flag. And if it comes with daytime fatigue, shortness of breath, or a racing heart, it's time to see a cardiologist as soon as possible. Treat every unexplained, repeated night of insomnia as a message, because sometimes those restless nights are the heart's way of crying out just before a heart attack makes its presence known. Finally, sign 10, rapid heartbeat or unusual palpitations. Have you ever been sitting quietly, not exercising, not drinking coffee, not feeling stressed, when suddenly your heart starts racing, pounding in your chest like a drum? The sensation may last only a few seconds before disappearing. But if it happens often, it could be an early warning sign of heart trouble.
A healthy heart normally beats in a steady rhythm, like a perfectly tuned clock. But when arteries narrow, blood pressure fluctuates, or the heart muscle is under strain, the rhythm can become irregular and chaotic. Your body signals this through palpitations, episodes where the heart races, pounds, or even skips a beat. The danger is that many people dismiss these episodes, thinking it's just nerves or it's normal with age. But research shows that frequent, unexplained palpitations can be an early sign of ischemia, reduced blood flow to the heart, or even a silent heart attack. Left unchecked, they can progress to more serious complications, including atrial fibrillation or, in severe cases, sudden cardiac arrest. Here's what to watch for. Heart-related palpitations often occur even at rest and sometimes at night while you're sleeping. They are not the same as a fast heartbeat from exercise or caffeine. They may also come with fatigue, shortness of breath, dizziness, or cold sweats, all of which raise the likelihood that the heart is involved. Treat every unexplained episode of rapid heartbeat or palpitations as a red flag. Don't reassure yourself with, "It's nothing." If your heart pounds or races several times a week without reason, see your doctor. A simple checkup could prevent something far more dangerous. We've just gone through the 10 early warning signs of heart attacks in women over 60. The next step you can take is to care for your heart every single day. The good news is you don't need to change your entire life or push yourself through harsh workouts. Just a few small adjustments, done consistently, can make your heart much stronger. 1. Listen to your body and keep a simple record of what you notice. 2. Move gently every day, whether it's a walk, stretching, or light activity. 3. Adjust your meals with more balance, more vegetables, and less salt, sugar, and saturated fats. And perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: the heart doesn't always scream when it's in danger. Many times it only whispers. If you're watching this video and thinking of your mother, your sister, your spouse, or even yourself, then this is the time to act. Don't wait until the heart speaks for the last time. Share this knowledge, because it may be the most valuable gift you can ever give to someone you love. If this video has helped you recognize something important, please hit the like button so I know you're here with me. And leave a comment if you've experienced or witnessed any of these signs. Your story could be the wake-up call that saves someone else's life. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so every week we can sit together again and learn more simple yet powerful ways to protect our health after 60.